I'm gonna try really hard to remember what I was fixing to sing about. So many topics come to my mind and then they leave my mind. They do it all the time. I'm pretty sure you already know that by now. If you watch this. Anyway. I think it's the pressure. Whenever I'm not under pressure, there's no reason for me not to remember the things that I wanna remember. Oh yeah, separating the art from the artist. This is something that I have personally struggled with in relation to my comedy. So, I would like to at this time address the fact that I'm probably way more on the spectrum, and I'm not talking about autism, I'm talking about mental illness in general. And because of that, I'm pretty much always on. And people will ask me, are you doing a bit? And I say, no. And they'll say, well, it sounds like it. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, say you were a songwriter, and you're just like always singing songs that you're doing. Like, I don't think the songwriters do that. I mean, they might sing to themselves, they might sing in their head, but they're not, like, I mean, maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. But, like, I think that something I've noticed is that women, especially female singer-songwriters, are, like, totally fine being crazy. Okay? It's male singer-songwriters that are, like, worried about it because they don't want to come across a certain way. But women, it's like everybody thinks whatever they think about us anyway. So it's like, I think that women who are aware of just that pressure of just being an artist, period, but being a female artist with tits and, you know, those types of features. Like, there's a lot more sex appeal to a female artist than a male artist. Okay, it's just the way it is. It's not a feminist statement. It's just a statement, okay? But yeah, I think that females, because we're aware of that, we just kind of go with whatever we got going on. I think that there's a little bit more, like, self-consciousness with men. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me. I mean, I'm kind of just looking at it from the perspective of, like, artists that I grew up with in the 90s. I'm not talking about Elvis Costello. Okay, Elvis Costello was, like, totally himself, but he was also, like, insecure, and he sang songs about that. I think that women know that we're gonna be looked down upon, like women that don't have kids, women that aren't married. Like, we already know how society sees us, which I think is why, like, the women that play guitar or they play piano, it's like they play the fuck out of it, because it's like we have to make up for it. It's like overcompensation or something. But yeah, like, my favorite artists are, like, all fucking nuts. And I don't care what their politics are. I don't give a fuck about that. But it's a little different with this because, like, comedy is very political. It's just inherently political, I think. Like, if it involves telling the truth, and I think that you probably know by now that that's definitely something that we're all about. So it's sometimes hard for me in relation to how I treat people, you know, because it bothers me, some of the stuff that I say on here. But then I'm like, it's part of a bit, Amy. Like, you're a comedian. Like, you've already pointed this out. You know, you have all these videos of yourself doing stand-up in a stand-up comedy sitting. And there are people laughing. You know, sometimes. Sometimes they laugh. Sometimes they don't. Yeah. Like, I think it's established that I'm a comedian. But I don't think that it's established what comedy is. And so sometimes I wrestle with that because I guess I'm still human. I'm still self-conscious. I don't want to be a bitch. I don't want to come across a certain way because I don't like that. But it's like, well, that's part of my persona though. And if I'm more of a mental ill than like most of these people that are not taking a damn risk, you know, because they're just getting up there and saying politically correct shit. They're saying stuff that they know that the audience is going to agree with. And I'm not saying it's not a risk at all. Because, yeah, like, if you get up on stage and you do anything, like, yeah, technically that's a risk. But what I'm talking about is, like, specifically what we're talking about, like, the subject matter that we bring up. I don't think that people are pushing back on the culture whatsoever. I mean, they did a little bit with the jab. Not very much, though. Character. I can't not be. I don't want to say that it's all of me, but it comprises a large portion. It's not going nowhere, so I make do with it. But it bothers me sometimes. More than sometimes. A lot of the time, it bothers me more than it should, considering is it because I'm a woman? Yes. That's a good thing, though. You're nurturing. You don't want to act in a way that's not nurturing. You don't want to talk in a way that's too masculine. At the same time, how else are you going to do it? Yeah, you have to have full access pass to the masculine part of your brain in order to do something that most people would think you're insane for doing. How many times, like, with comedy, would people say, oh, well, I could never do that. I can never do that. I don't know how you do that. Me neither. I shit myself practically every time. So, yeah. I do it 'cause I got a lot to say that no one else is gonna say. I do it 'cause it's important. Maybe I'm just too angry to not let it get to me. Comedy is my therapy. I don't think you have to be angry. I don't think you have to be insecure. I don't think you have to be anything really in order to get the fuck up there, but it would help if you had a personality and something interesting to say. A lot of people don't, but it doesn't matter today. You don't have to be interesting. You really don't. And that's always been the case. People that would probably be considered by the general public a total fucking head case are the most overlooked, even though they have way more brilliant insight than everybody else that is popular, make money. Well, some money would be nice, but oh shit. Huh. Dude, I am so glad that I remembered this. I have a show. Joey Goodsong put me on a show. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Pretty sure it's on Saturday. Yeah. At Third Coast. Okay. Damn. That's really, really good that I remember that because I'm sure they're going to ask me if I can come in to work Saturday night. But I cannot because I'm doing comedy. I think I have like a 6-minute spot. I have a guest spot. I think I'm getting paid $10. That's why I brought that up because I was like, oh yeah, money. I can make money doing comedy. Yeah, the good ones can. The thing is, I probably could be a touring comic if I really wanted to. Like, if I was, like, super motivated to do that, I could probably do that. If I were willing to, like, put myself out there way more, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, do YouTube shorts, do TikTok, get a smartphone, you know. I'm not saying I would have to do all of that, but I think that it would probably require me to do a little bit more conventional stuff. Because if you want the conventional success, you have to do conventional stuff. And I just don't want it that bad. Like, there is still a part of me that wants something. It's not even really about recognition. It's more about, you know, I want to reach people, man. I want there to be people that really get what I'm doing and they can come see me do an hour, you know? That would be cool. It'd be cool for me, but it'd be even cooler for them because their afterlife would be better afterwards. I know it would. But you know what's funny is that when we say afterlife, we really mean this life. Afterlife just means like in the next 5 minutes, okay? But yeah. That's interesting. Like, you should look at it like that. Like, everything has consequences. Yeah, I mean, that's that's sort of the whole appeal of heaven and hell. Like, the fear-mongering tactic works really well. And many will say, well, you don't need that to do good or to not do bad. I think you do. I think the majority needs that. Okay? Because people that say that, oh, well, morality isn't contingent on religion, morality isn't contingent on God. When you look at the massive amount of coercion that has been displayed in the past several years in relation to, things that we probably shouldn't be doing, that have, no positive impact on our immunity, no positive impact on our ability to function, okay? I would say that all these things that we're coerced into doing, whether it involves medicine, education, technology, no air quotes, okay? But, entertainment. I think for a lot of people, they have a phone because it's a form of entertainment. And they can just, like, sort of nod off every chance they get. But yeah, that's the coercion. Like, a lot of this stuff, people have been coerced into doing it because of society. So you can't tell me that, like, oh, morality isn't contingent on God. Because if it's contingent on society, we are really fucking in trouble, dude. Because society just goes along with whatever. And so obviously, like, if they're that influenced to do something bad, to do something that's detrimental to themselves, then maybe we should influence them to do something good. And you can say, well, that's bullshit. You're telling them to worship an imaginary motherfucker in the sky. Why would you do that? Because they'll behave better, right? That's what you want? I mean, honestly, honey, I don't like coercion myself. I'm not saying that we need to coerce people into believing in God. What I'm saying is that, like, I don't agree with those fear-mongering tactics. That's why I'm Orthodox. Orthodox people don't fucking do that shit. That's a Protestant thing. That's also a Catholic thing. I think the Protestants and the Catholics are competing to see who can fear-monger more. But, yeah, that's not something I've ever heard an Orthodox person do. Because we don't need to. We just focus on God's love in a non-gay way. But, yeah. I think that when it comes to running a country, though, when it comes to government and all that, God should definitely be a huge part of that. We should think that our actions have consequences. And the fact that we don't, is why people think that not being allowed to rip out their offspring in all 50 states not only is unconstitutional, but it's a violation of human rights, okay? So, quite the pickle we are in. But yeah, back to the original topic, separating the art from the artist. How can you do that when I'm mainly an artist? Like, somebody told me a while back when I started doing stand-up that I was an artist all the time. Like, everything I did was some kind of art project. And I guess that's sort of true. Before I could accurately assess, like, where I was going to take this. So I was going in a lot of different directions, and of course it ended up going in a political direction, unfortunately. But, I mean, it's okay. Donald Trump saved me from the perils of liberalism. But, yeah. there are a lot of things that I realized about myself and the world and just people in general. But, you know, sometimes I have trouble, like, separating myself from my bits and my jokes. And my best jokes, I don't do. Because they're too fucking offensive. And I know, I know this world pretty well. And just looking at the kind of feedback I get on YouTube, you know, I'm pretty certain that, yeah, most people wouldn't be able to handle what I got. Because it's comedy gold, all right? It's comedy gold. I promise it is. But, like, yeah, I'd have to do that for people that, like, truly get me. I'm not going to just waste my best jokes on liberal lunatics. I'm not going to waste my best jokes on just stupid-ass people, which is most of the audience, dude. It's most of the audience. And I'm sure that's true everywhere. I'm sure that's true for musicians doing, you know, open mics. It's just, yeah, most people just don't have taste. And the ones that do have taste are kind of like outcasts, I think. But especially when I talk about my political views and stuff, it's like, I think that, yeah, more people are like in the middle, like they're not so extreme. But, you know, I'm too confusing, and I'm too, like, I'm a very conflicting person. I'm extremely conflicted all the time anyway. So if it seems like I'm constantly contradicting myself, that's why, okay? But, yeah, it's like, I can't imagine myself doing, like, my political stuff in front of, like, the liberal crowds. I just don't think it would work. But I also can't imagine myself being the way that I am in front of people that identify as conservative because they don't understand art. So I just, like I said, I'm in a pickle. You know, it sucks. I'll figure it out. I know I'll figure it out. But I think that I need to get over this ego of mine that is, like, hyper concerned about, you know, people's sensitivities and everything. But, like, I just hate a lot of these, you know, they're not really conservative comics. They're just more libertarian, I guess. They say racist stuff. Maybe they'll use the word faggot. Every once in a while I hear a liberal say that word. But, yeah, like, oh, retard. They'll use the word retard. The R word. Okay, they'll never say the N word, though. I'm the only one ballsy enough to do that. And crazy enough, I guess. But, yeah, like, it's like they want to pretend that they're taking risks, but they're really not. Because it's just, like, an avenue. It's just a particular avenue that they're going in. And it's going to get the people that it's going to get. I just don't like that. I don't like niche comedy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Because to me, like, I want to be like Jesus. I want to get everybody. You know? Jews didn't want the sinners. Probably because they were sinners. But Jesus wanted everybody. So it really means extra to me if I have liberals that like me, or I have secular people that like me, I have gay people, trans people, feminists. I have feminists that like me. Can you believe that shit? I can't, but they do. And I think it's because they relate to, well, not just the fact that I'm a woman, but it's like I'm a very self-expressive person. I don't need feminism to be that way. I don't need to prove anything. But you should talk about that too. You should talk about how, like, yeah, everybody feels the need to prove something. You don't need to prove anything.
I feel like you can say a lot of things without having to say, you know, like you sort of, like instead of just saying like, I'm not a feminist, just like illustrate the fact that you're not a traditional woman, but you don't need all that feminist crap, you know? Like say it in a cleverly disguised way. I don't know. This really bothers me, like everybody's capitalizing on something. It's like, I don't want to capitalize on my country falling apart. Also, I can make money and, you know, make a name for myself. Like all these people that have podcasts, and it's like, I don't know. I really hate, you know, this whole status, and like my country in particular is like obsessed with stuff like that. To such a disgusting level, it's not even funny. And that's why I knew that Trump was going to be the president, because of his name, but also, you know, he's a celebrity. So it just made sense that we get a celebrity president. Andrew Breitbart said that too. And Andrew Breitbart's pretty fucking wise. That's why they killed his ass. So, anyway. Okay, I'm going to sing one last thing, and then I'm going to attempt to go to bed, even though I'm drinking coffee, so. I don't want to make my art about everything falling apart, even though that's what's happening. I want to make something that's far more creative than just reacting. Everyone's so dramatic, or they're just totally full of shit. It's like all the options just feel the same. It's a lot like capitalism in that way. You know, when you go to the grocery store and all the products are garbage, and that one item that has way fewer ingredients than all the other items, it's $10 more. So you literally have to like go broke to not be poisoned. I mean, hopefully you're not in such dire straits that you know, can't afford to treat your body better, but a lot of people are. Don't want to capitalize on what's wrong. Don't want to capitalize on what's wrong. I don't want to capitalize on what's wrong, because that's wrong. I don't want your bad decisions to make me money. I just want you to develop some self-awareness, honey. But I think you're allergic to it. It's true, yeah. Well, the self-awareness, that would, like, that would provide some humility, you know. And humility sucks, you know. Humility's not a fun thing. It's a good thing, but it's definitely not a fun thing. And so I don't see people getting over that one anytime soon.